just a couple days ago, the House of Representatives voted to officially begin impeachment proceedings against the big guy, Joe Biden.
For Big Daddy. Well, Hunter came out and he held a press conference saying that his dad was never involved in any of his businesses. And Hunter's he's a pretty honest guy, right? Like, we have a lot of information on his life. I've seen pictures of his penis, right? And I've seen pictures of him pulling hookers' hair. I've seen him do drugs. I've seen his personal finances, right? He lives life out in the open. He is doing crazy, crazy things, and he's taking pictures of it all. I'm sure there's video as well. What does he have to hide?
All of the information about Hunter Biden came like unwillingly. Like I did not want any of that information that we have about him, but like it's just been forced upon us for the past 4 years.
I think he likes forcing that upon people. Yeah. So it's just an inquiry. I mean, I don't trust them. I don't. What are they going to do? I mean, how inept have the Republicans been against like fighting back against, I don't know, progressives or Democrats or whatever, this red versus blue dichotomy that we're in? How good have they been? I would say probably not very good. So what are you? I mean, are you guys hopeful? Are you hopeful that maybe I should start with asking, like, do you think this is a good idea?
Well, okay. That's where I was going to go. Am I hopeful? I don't really care. Like, Biden clearly was involved. He's changed the story so many times. It's clear that he's implicated. And it was like, oh, I never talked to him about it. Oh, wait, I talked to him, but we never talked about business. It's just like he keeps changing his story. It's clear corruption. It's probably impeachable. They won't pass it in the Senate, so it doesn't really matter. It's just really kind of a charade. And then I raised the question, even if you could get to 60 votes in the Senate to get rid of him, is it even smart? Don't you want to be running against Biden?
Right.
I think it'd probably be better if you're running against Kamala.
I mean,
all right. So you impeach him. Does that mean he's automatically out? And if he does go out, you say, all right, you're out of here, bud. Go back to China. Then we have Kamala, and that's awful, I think. And then what does she do? She going to run? She going to run for president? She lost. She was like the first one to drop out. She didn't get like more than 1% in anything. And yet she still somehow became vice president. I wonder why, Michael.
Yeah, why, guys?
What do you mean?
Systemic racism.
I think both of them are equally unpopular. I think running against either one of them would probably. Interestingly enough, they have not even tried to poll. Unless I haven't seen it, Kamala against like Trump or Kamala against Nikki, which you would think, given like the situation we're in with the impeachment, with his age, with all these other things, that they would just throw that out there to see kind of like where the country's at. I guess my question: Do I have faith? No. I mean, they found cocaine in the White House, one of the most secure buildings in the country, and they couldn't figure out who did it. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. So no, I have no faith. And second, I don't know. So here's the thing. As a father, Brad, you're a father, Michael, you're a father. Would you guys go to these great lengths for your child? Like, I struggle sometimes in thinking about this because I feel like it's kind of hard to blame him because he's going, like, I know what my dad does for my brothers and for me over the years, like nothing to this extent for sure. But what lengths does a father go for their child? Well,
I mean, you go to the ends of the earth within certain bounds. It's not anything goes. I'm not going to, if he's trying to get into Harvard or something like that, and it's between him and some Asian kid, I'm not going to go murder the Asian kid.
I mean, would you go and rip up their SAT so that like they didn't get qualified? Like, would you do that?
I might put them in an internment camp. Because the Chinese, that happened to I'm not, it's a joke. It's a joke. All right.
So
this loving father bit, I'm calling bullshit.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, by the way. I'm not. Yeah.
A loving father does not let their crack addicted son run around the world with millions of dollars selling influence. That's not what a loving father does. A loving father would put him into somewhere that he can get help. You don't let him run wild on your name if you're a loving father.
Well, we know Michael won't let his kids have fun.
I don't even help them tie their shoes. Like, you know how to do that. Do it yourself.
But here's the thing. I saw a clip last night, and the only reason I saw it was because I first saw commentary about it on Twitter. Meghan McCain was going off on Twitter because apparently yesterday on The View, the ladies were saying that, you know, he's just doing things for his son, and what child out of DC hasn't traded on their last name? People at this table have done so before. And so Meghan McCain had heard it and then realized she was talking about her, and then she started going off on Twitter. And so it was interesting hearing them try to, I went back and looked at the clip, hearing them try to justify it, saying that, like, did he do some bad things? Yes, but it's okay because all DC kids trade on their parents' last name, which is just like kind of nuts to me that they would try to justify that.
So corruption is endemic in the system, and therefore it's okay for Hunter Biden to do it.
Yeah. Did you say it's systemic corruption?
Endemic.
But yes. Did you say?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's probably pretty natural for people to play on their last names if they have one that works for them. You know, I think most people would do that. I'm sure there's some that'll say, no, I'm going to make it on my own. Good for you. I think that's great. But at the end of the day, I think this is sort of like, okay, yeah, this is what Hunter did. Biden got involved, and so he needs to be punished and punished accordingly. But to think that it stops at Biden is an insane premise. I think that whoever said that is absolutely correct. Of course, no one cares what the fuck Meghan McCain thinks. Like, nobody.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I feel like
she's popular because of her dad.
Yes, but yes, exactly. So right, that's why she got the position on The View. So for her to have this like outrage that they would call her out on it, like the only reason we really know who she is because of her dad. Same thing with like Abby Huntsman. Same thing with Huckabee Sanders. Like a lot. I mean, most of these people.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders got where she is because of her looks.
But there's a kind of a clear line here. There's kind of a clear line here that we're not delineating. Using your father's name to become a TV show host versus using your father's position of power to get prosecutors fired that are investigating your company. Like, one's criminal, one's not. Right. Is it shady? Probably. Is it taking advantage? Yeah. But is it criminal? What Meghan McCain did? No. Although it should be. But what Biden did is clearly criminal. And there's a long history of this behavior from the Bidens. So, but my bigger question, and this kind of takes us to the next, is like, why would we get rid of Joe Biden when Trump's, even MSNBC is, on TV, Joe and Mika talking about Trump's winning in all the swing states.
You mean those two murderers?
Who did they kill?
And who did they murder?
Joe Scarborough.
Right.
The conspiracy, Charles, goes that Joe Scarborough murdered his chief of staff or something like that when he was in Congress.
What? Yeah. I didn't know that. Wow. Huh. Well, then wouldn't that just be one murderer?
Huh?
Wouldn't that just be one murderer then?
Well, Mika's complicit if she hasn't outed him yet. At this point.
Speaking of somebody who traded on their family name to get where she is.
Mika? What was her family name?
Isn't she Brzezinski's daughter?
Oh, I don't know. Is she?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a popular name in Poland. I don't know.